in from Florence to talk about his film, American Night. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, what an extraordinary film. Lots of Oscar buzz on this film. Incredible movie. Why don't you tell us about it? Because I know you wrote the film. So tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, I wrote the film, and it is a genre bending hybrid. I didn't want to go for one genre. I wanted to have elements of noir based on the characters of noir, the anti-hero, the antagonist, the good wife, the femme fatale, and the innocent. And then do a twist on what are the rules of noir, and I have a love story, a big love story, a little bit like Romeo and Juliet, and have action in it, and have elements of comedy. So I wanted to do a mix of genres. And it really is about, it's a movie that is about accepting who you are and accepting your own nature. Because all the characters in the film, instead of doing the classical hero's journey, which is the hero has a goal and he needs to face challenges, and at the end, when he reaches or not his goal, he learns something and he changes and he comes back home transformed. I don't believe people change unless they really want to or put a lot of effort into it. So I created an arc for the characters in which at the end, without spoiling what happens, but what they do is they accept who they are and they embrace their own nature. So it's about accepting your own nature and accepting who you are.
And it's all within the backdrop, if you will, of the world of art, right? The art world, the underbelly, the dark and the beautiful world of art. And in this film, you have some extraordinary original works of art too. Would you tell us about that?
Yes, I really like art, and I wanted to be a character or protagonist in the story. Not usually art in movies is in the back. I wanted art to be present and to be a protagonist. And we were lucky enough and blessed to have real artists. I wanted to have real art in the movie. And so we had a dozen or more of real artists from all over the world that sent us their. And I wanted to have all forms of art. So we have video art, we have performance art, we have sculptures, painting, music, poetry. And at the core of the story is the stealing of the pink Marilyn by Andy Warhol. So we were lucky enough that we got the permits to use the pink Marilyn by the Warhol estate. And we had Jeff Koons sent us a sculpture for the movie, and Mario Schifano's foundation allowed us to use a Schifano painting. So there is a lot of real art in the film.
Boy, how did you manage that? The pink Marilyn. That was a feat right there, Alessio. How did you pull that off, really?
Well, we just really sent the screenplay in, and luckily they responded and they accepted to do it. So we were all very lucky and very blessed. And I chose these art works for their pop culture meaning. It really is a film about pop culture, what is pop culture and what is iconic. And obviously the Pink Marilyn is Warhol's most pop, as in popular painting, and it is his most iconic work. And it is an iconic work that is based on another icon, because Marilyn is an icon, obviously. And I did the same for, in all departments, and I did the same choice when I chose every artwork. So Schifano's Coca-Cola is obviously an icon, and he made a painting out of it, which became another icon. So I was really interested in this process of making an icon out of an icon, or making a reflection on a reflection, or what is iconic and what is pop culture.
A lot of people might not know, how does one become eligible to perhaps be nominated for an Oscar here? And that if you could walk us through that, right? Because you presented at the Venice Film Festival. You got lots of incredible reviews there, right? Is that how it works? Once you present at one of the top film festivals, then you come here and also do your publicity here, right? And then it's eligible for an Oscar nomination. Is that how that works?
Yes, we were very blessed. We did our world premiere in Venice. During the Venice Film Festival, they built a floating stage in the lagoon, and the audience was sitting in the gondolas in the water watching the film. So it was a really magical night. And
Wow.
we also shipped the paintings and the sculpture from all these artists for an exhibition. So we had an art exhibition opening of all the art that is in the film, and we screened the film in the lagoon, the Venice lagoon. So it was a magical night. And then, yes, we have submitted the film for the Academy Awards. But actually what happened is after Venice, I received an email from the Academy asking for a copy of the screenplay to put it in their, what they call the permanent core collection of the Academy Awards. And I thought it was a joke, but it was actually real.
Right.
And so I sent the screenplay, and now it's actually on the website, oscars.org. It's in their core collection. So we thought, okay, maybe we should apply. We should submit for the Academy Awards, and it's really hard just to even qualify. And thank God we qualified, and now we became eligible. So we are in the final list of the eligible films, and we have been doing screenings here in Los Angeles for the Academy members. We did a screening in Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard 2 days ago, and we did a screening in Malibu for the Malibu Film Society yesterday. And the reception has been incredible. I had people like with their full of enthusiasm, screaming and saying, "Wow, this was so cool!" So it was incredible.
That was me. That was me at the house, because we screened it at the house, and it was exceptional. I was calling people I knew, loved it. I have to tell you, you've got me hooked on it. It's on many, many, many levels, just as you're talking about here. Just, a little bit of the humor, right? A little bit of the drama, the tragedy, the Romeo and Juliet, if you will. There's definitely element of that. Very unique film. Talk to me about some of the categories that could be nominated, right? Yourself for screenplay, right?
Yes, screenplay, best screenplay, best director, best editing, and for Zach Stenberg. And
hang on a minute. And he did the editing for, what was it, Ford versus Ferrari?
He did The Matrix. He won an Oscar.
Oh, he did The Matrix. Okay.
Pacific Rim and Lord of War, many incredible films. It was also a miracle that he accepted to edit, a small film from Italy, a first-time director from Italy. But again, we sent him the screenplay, and he loved it. And he flew to Rome. He saw the movie, or what we had shot of the film, and he accepted to do it. So we were all very thrilled to have such a talented editor on board of this movie.
And how about the score? I believe that's also eligible, right?
The score is composed by Marco Beltrami, who was also two times Academy Award nominee. And he came to the Q&A and the screening last night in Malibu. So he answered questions from the audience, and it was really kind of him, and it was just great. Also because he embraced the project, and he, just like I did, was really interested in what Warhol did and how this process is done. So just like I did on so many levels, for example, I said to all the departments, we are only going to have primary colors in this film. You can use red, blue, and yellow, no other colors. So whether it was cinematography, costumes, art department, there was no other color in the film unless something else happened in the characters' lives. And so I was really much, making like bold choices. And he embraced it. He told me that he wanted to use a very famous classical piece from classical music of the past, like Chopin or Schubert, like the Ave Maria, and transform it into something else. And I took Indo, because this is the same process that Warhol did with taking the Marilyn and making it something else. So he did the same thing with the score, Marco Beltrami. He took the Ave Maria and transformed it into something else, which is more than doing a cover. You know, it's like when a painter takes someone else's painting and paints on top of it, and it becomes something else. So he did the same thing with the score, which I thought it was a very cool idea and very thrilling. And he was in Malibu yesterday for the screening at the Malibu Film Society, along with myself and with Zach Stenberg, and the Q&A after the screening. And
right, I know it went really, really well. Jeremy Piven, one of my favorite actors, is in this as well, in the film.
Yes.
Yeah. My question to you is, right, you would be up against some of the top people in Hollywood for an Oscar. How do you think that you're cutting through and you're playing on the same level, the same field as Steven Spielberg and so many others? I mean, wow, tell us about that.
It's true. There's we have been doing exactly what they have been doing, the screenings in Los Angeles and the Q&As with an audience. And we didn't know how it was gonna be, really, because it's a first movie from Italy. It's not a big studio production, clearly. However, I have to say that yesterday there was a 150 yards line of people outside the theater waiting to get in, and we had to send people away. So we were all like shocked that people actually came. Not even they came, there was actually a long line. And we had a full house. So we had an incredible attendance. It was a blast. It was very nice. It was very nice.
Can you name for us some of the top people in Hollywood that you would be up against in the various categories for the Oscars?
Oh, all the ones that are running. There is Steven Spielberg, and there is all the big guys, all the big studio films, and yeah. So it's a blessing to even be in Los Angeles screening for the Academy members, and we are in the Academy screening room website, so all the Academy members can see our film on the page.
You studied here in Los Angeles, right? Where did you study?
I won a Fulbright Scholarship to do a master's degree. This is another miracle. Someone told me 2 weeks before the deadline that there was a Fulbright Scholarship. I didn't even know it existed. And then everyone was telling me, you need a year to prepare for this because you need to do so many exams and so many tests. But I had 2 weeks, so I tried. I tried, and somehow they picked me because there was only one place in Italy. And so it was an incredible thing. And they flew me to LA to study here. I studied at the LA Film School, and then I got hired from PBS to do some of their shows. And it was all one thing after the next. And then after that, the mayor of a part of Los Angeles gave me a honorable mention for the work that I had done for them. So it was really nice.
That's fantastic. Did you always want to be a filmmaker when you were a kid in Italy? How did you get your start too?
It was a combination of all the art forms. I went to film school. I went to film university in Italy, but then I also studied theater at the Samuel Beckett Center in Dublin. And then I did exhibitions of my art and my photographs. I was also working as a photographer. Then I got hired by UNESCO to direct live events like the World Day of Poetry or the anniversary of the yearly event for the World Day of Human Rights. So we were doing like these big events like at the US Consulate in Florence or at the Music Conservatory or in art galleries. They asked me to direct documentaries in the Uffizi Gallery in Florence. So I got to spend like weeks and weeks alone with all these artworks, the Caravaggios and the Michelangelos and the Bernini and Botticelli.
Wow.
And so I guess all this somehow entered into my subconscious.
Clearly, And now look what you've written. It's pretty extraordinary. How do you feel after coming here to LA and all the screenings and having people lined up, more than 100 folks just lined up to see your film? How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel happily surprised. I didn't expect this big turnout and all these people coming to me afterwards and asking questions about the movie. And there is a lot of love for art in the audience. People in the audience is dumb and they need to have like pre-cooked stories, but they don't. People came to me and they said, "Wow, I love this film, and it worked on so many levels, and I could see this meaning and this other meaning." And someone asked me, is because they recognized there was a speech about water and the scorpion story about water, and then the house goes on fire, and they asked me, is there a journey through the elements? And I said, yes, there is. It's hidden another layer, but it's not supposed to be in your face, because otherwise it would become a treaty or a philosophical paper. I want it to be a very pop, as in popular, as in for everyone, for everybody. I want it to be a story for everybody. But there are hidden elements and hidden meanings. So we had an incredible reception, and we had an incredible, and people really loved art, and people that attended the screenings came to me enthusiastic. So I was.
Yeah. Are you finding a difference between the Italian audience and the audience here? And also, I want to mention to people, we can see it on Hulu right now, can we not?
Yes, it just premiered on Hulu last weekend.
Yeah. So if people really want to go out and see it, and you can't, stand in line for one of the invitations here in Los Angeles, you can check out American Night on Hulu. But anyway, back to my question. Is there a difference between an LA audience and an Italian audience?
It's a very interesting question, because it's only been seen by an Italian audience at the Venice Film Festival. It has not been released in Italy yet. It has been sold to over 100 countries, so it will be released everywhere. But the film first was released theatrically last October by Saban Films and Lionsgate in the US. And as far as I know, it's perhaps the first time that a first-time feature director was released theatrically in the US in over 10 major cities. So we were in theaters in New York, in LA, in Chicago, in Detroit, in Phoenix, in Dallas, in so many cities, and we were like super happy about this.
Well, congratulations to you. When are the nominations announced? When do we find out?
It will be in a week or two, I believe. So we are all waiting for this.
Yeah, it might be next week. If my memory serves me, it's the 2nd of February, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. But gosh, we wish you all the best. We are rooting for you here in the Italian American community in Los Angeles. We really are. We are thrilled and we are honored to have you on our show today. So thank you very much. Will you stay in touch with us and let us know?
Thank you, and ciao a tutta la comunità italiana a Los Angeles. Grazie.
Oh, we love having you here. Absolutely. Alessio Della Valle, the name of the film American Night. Please look it up on Hulu. I loved it. So many of my friends also have been viewing the film, and it's pretty extraordinary. Just like you said, a lot of different layers there. So thank you so much. A brilliant film. You've got an incredible, many films in you in the future. I know this. It's just quite a film, and I look forward to meeting you while you're out here. So thanks for joining us today on our Little Italy of LA podcast. By the way, any parting words that you want to say to us?
I want to say thanks to all the Italian community in Los Angeles and to the Italian Americans in America. And please support the film, go watch the film and tell your friends about the film. And I
Absolutely. And let's hope we're going to be having a big party for the film for the Oscars. So thank you again, Alessio. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. And Little Italy of LA podcast. Join us, follow us, and we will see you next time. I'm your host, Deborah Kobylt. Bye-bye.
Okay, we are off.
Is that okay? Alessio, was that okay?
Yes, it was great. It was great. Thank you.
You're incredible. I love the film, but I love art. I will go see almost anything, anywhere, small galleries, big galleries, any museum, and I could see